Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm just gonna get ready right now. I'm home alone because the kids are at school, but I'm gonna get ready right now because I am looking for a new job and I've been checking out all of my applications and going everywhere to see if I can get a job, because I ended up quitting my job that I was at for almost 3 years, and it was at a cake place. It's a franchise cake place. And so I loved what I did because I loved dealing with pastries and all that stuff, and my coworkers were also really nice, and I love them all so much. But I feel like I've been going through a midlife crisis type of thing. I don't know if it is, but I've just been feeling, I'm almost 35, so I've been feeling, I'm like dealing with my weight. I don't want it to be too negative or anything. Oh jeez, I thought it was gonna fall. I don't want it to be too negative. Oops, start with this, with my eyebrows. Because I feel like I'm gonna be venting a little, or I guess to make you, or to have you guys understand why I left. So basically, there were a few reasons. Some I'm not going to really talk about, but I know one of them was that I got a doctor's note, and the manager was, it was an interesting doctor's note. When I went to the ER, I basically, I couldn't walk from my right leg. I've always had issues with my right leg because I have a torn meniscus already. So that was already an issue. And then I had already, this happened on my day off. So it was a Wednesday. And so the day I went to the ER, of course the hospital where I live is not the best. I went to the ER, and then the doctor clearly told me, I'm gonna give you time off for your leg and get rest. He was sick that day because he told me he's been sick. I heard him telling all the other employees there, because I was in a hallway, not an actual room or anything. And so the doctor told me, I'm gonna give you a few days off, get some rest, ice your leg, because they took x-rays and everything. And I don't know the way he wrote it. I guess it can go both ways, but when I sent it to my manager, she was still trying to have me work, and I said, no, I'm not gonna work, that's illegal. Like the doctor's note, he clearly told me, just because it doesn't sound like he wrote that on the note, but that's what he told me, and that's the way I took the note as well. So then when she started saying like, oh no, it says this, it means this, I started kind of second guessing myself. So I called to verify, and it was verified that I go back until that specific date. She wasn't too happy about it, and she wanted me to go work anyway. So I feel like I was already over that job, because my manager, I love her and everything, but she needs to understand, in my opinion, how to manage. She was really young, like 10 years younger than I was, or than I am. So see all this stress acne. This is just what I do all the time with my makeup when I'm in a hurry. But yeah, so she wanted me to go work a fuerzas, and I said no. And so when I got back, so basically my job was lead froster. I was made lead froster a couple weeks after I was hired, or even like a few weeks after I was hired. Because I just work really hard at every job that I have. And so, also because the lead froster was getting promoted to manager, but that didn't work out, so she left. And then we didn't have real management for a while. It was mainly just the owner in there, which was fine. But at the same time, when situations like this come up, it's stressful because just certain things don't make sense and don't run smoothly. But basically, I would always do a lot of work. I got cross-trained for all the positions except management, just because I didn't want to deal with management things because I have 3 kids and I was just working 32 hours. But at the same time, I just wasn't happy there anymore. Just a lot of things were going on where I didn't want to be in a negative environment, and I didn't feel comfortable anymore with certain things. And so I just, I was just praying about it for so long, and I kept feeling like, oh, my time here, I feel like I felt almost like God telling me like, oh, your time here is gonna be up. And so I was scared at the same time, because I'm like, oh great, I mean, I didn't make that much. I mean, I make more than most people, like more than minimum wage, but obviously that's still not enough living in California. And so I would do 4 different positions, or no, 3 or 4. But I would always get my work done as much as I could to be able to help the afternoon shift or whatever I could to help. I would be there to help. And I enjoyed helping, even though sometimes it was really tiresome. And so I would come home really exhausted, and I started like stress eating. And then working at a cake place, of course, you want to eat sweets. And I'm using this Lancome one because it's one of my favorites. And so I've gained a lot of weight. I've lost some, but not everything I've been wanting to lose. And so I still got a ways to go. And so that's another stress, because I gained so much weight there. I think I gained like 20 pounds working there. But yeah, so I decided, you know what, after I got back, because before I had left on my leave, it was the day before I had my day off, which was when it happened, on my day off. But I finished frosting everything in the back. I mean, obviously I got help from like a few other employees, but for the most part, like, I would do a lot to try to finish as much as I can. That way we're always, like, that won't be a worry of ours, because that way we can focus on finishing other things. That's the way I thought. I'm like, okay, I need to get this done. Once the other stuff gets baked, that way I can frost it right away, and it will be ready for the next day, or for an event, or offsite, or whatever it was. Or for the locations where we deliver. And so I finished, everything was frosted, everything, except the cakes, because they're fresh. And so, well, everything's fresh, but I don't know how that makes, it's hard to explain because you'd have to work there to understand. But I frosted everything. When I got back, nothing was done. And I was like, oh my gosh, all that hard work just went down the drain. And so I did like 3 or 4 crates that day that I frosted, and I was there a few hours. I think I'm usually there like 6 hours. And then plus I help in baking. I help up front when it's needed. I try to keep everything. I always kept my station very, very clean and sanitized just because I don't like having a mess at my workplace. Here at home, it's different because I'm cleaning out everything. I'm purging everything. So I've been doing that, and we're still fixing the house. But oh, what a difference on my face. But so anyways, so when I left, when I was gonna clock out, or as I was clocking out, my manager says, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And in my head, I'm like, okay, for what? And so she starts saying things to me that are obviously hurting my feelings. And I'm a very, very sensitive person. I have a very sensitive heart and mind. So I cry easily. Or before Jesus found me, I would curse a lot and talk back a lot, and things like that of my reaction. I wouldn't be in much control of my emotions, which I still struggle with certain things, like with my kids, but I don't treat them like abusively or anything. It's more of like, hey, like, I'm getting frustrated, can you listen? And so I talk to them like that. But in a workplace, it's hard to stay professional when they're telling you that you're not fit for it anymore. And especially at my age, because I'm already having things I'm going through at my age, where I'm like, okay, I used to have a business and now I work at a cake shop and I don't make that much money, and I have 3 kids, and we're in this place where a lot is going on mentally and physically, and when you realize like you're not where you want to be in life, and so you start reflecting a lot about that. And I think I've talked about it on my previous video that I did who knows how long ago. But now, since I'm not working, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna make videos and talk, because I talk a lot now. Before I wouldn't. But anyways, when she started saying things of that matter, I was more of like, she made it sound like she had talked to the owner first. And so, oops, ooh, that's too much. She made it sound like she talked to the owner first. So I was like, oh great, now the owner hates me too. Oh, the cat. And so I said, she's like, you've been calling out a lot. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? I haven't been calling out. And I will say that I think the week prior, like, my son was sick, and I don't really have help with my kids. I did when my sister was here, and my mom would help me, but she's already dealt with kids, so she's tired. And so I know she always works a lot too, so I just try to take care of my own things. So that's one thing that I told her, okay, so what do you mean I called out? That was one day, and I always, whenever my kids are feeling sick or I was feeling sick, like any little sign of us being sick, I would let her know right away, and I'd be like, oh hey, I would text her late at night or early in the morning, and I'd be like, hey, I'm not feeling well, like I just want to let you know, like, to give you time in case I don't show up. I would always let her know, at least like right away. And then I said I'll keep her updated, so everything I would keep her updated. I would let her know, hey, this is happening, I might not show up to this, I just want to let you know in case you need time to like figure out the schedule, because we're already understaffed. And so she was bringing that up, and I said, okay, that was only one day. And of course, me, instead of staying with my son, I would try to have my mom watch him, or like ask my mom if she could watch him after she was done working, because it was just one of them, one boy, and he's 7. So I'm like, that wouldn't, he can just watch TV or just lay down and sleep. So instead of me staying home, I would please her and go to work. Even if I showed up a little bit late, I'd be like, okay, I've showed up late, I can stay till like this time. And I would always try to make everything work for her. And so for her to say what she said to me, it really hurt me, and it made me feel like I was just some like old useless person. And that's when I was just like, okay, God, I think this is that sign that I needed to leave. And so she was like, I don't know if you want to go part-time, and if you want to talk to your husband about it, because obviously my husband has income, but I had my own income that I was taking care of my own bills. And so I told him, well, first of all, when I got in the car, I started crying. I think I called my mom or my husband. I'm not sure who I called, or my sister. But I just felt very hurt. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, after everything I've done for you, and you tell me I'm not fit anymore? Okay. So, I mean, it still hurts me to this day just to think about it, because I feel like I'm in that place where I'm still trying to figure out life. And I feel like life is so short, where I know that's not having faith, but I feel like life is so short that and it goes by so fast, so much faster than we think. And it's mainly like, I don't want to run out of time and not fulfill my purpose. So that's the way I've been feeling lately. So I'm like, I don't want to be in a place where I'm not happy, because, you know, I've had other jobs where when you get to that point where you start like, it's not being grateful, but it's just like, I feel like I know I can do better, or I can do more. I have a bigger purpose. That's how I feel. But of course, money is necessary, which is what's frustrating, because money is always necessary, and you know, to survive with certain things. But I mean, I don't have a glamorous life or anything. I never have, which is fine. I mean, I would say I've had a good life. We learned a lot, we've gone through a lot, but you know, God has always helped me overcome situations in my life. And so I feel like that's built my faith personally, everything I've gone through. And so I don't know how to do makeup. I'm just doing it however I think works for me. So yeah, that's just what's been going on. And right now I'm still trying to figure out life. I know one of my coworkers, he's an older man, and he said, what if your purpose is to just raise your kids? And for some reason it brought me to tears, because I remember when I was pregnant, or before I was pregnant, or I knew I was pregnant with my first son, I prayed a lot, and I asked God, and I remember I was crying, and I asked God, Lord, if you bless me with a son, I want to lead him in your ways, just like Hannah led her son Samuel. Because Hannah's story reminded me of my story. And so that's something I thought about, but you know, always worry and finances come up, and bills with the kids, which is normal. No, I'm not complaining about that. But it's when these situations come up when you're like, what am I doing with my life? But one thing I am doing is, I know my kids aren't perfect. They're not at all. I'm not saying they are. But like deep down, they're such amazing kids. And obviously, you know, they're learning. I'm learning still, even at my age, because I had my oldest son at 22. And so growing up, figuring out with him as well. And so that's basically what we're doing, is figuring out life right now. So yeah, anyway, that's one thing that it reminds me of with my oldest son, is that's what I prayed for. And then once I saw that I had 3 boys, I kind of wanted a girl, but I'm glad I didn't get a girl, because I'm more of a tomboy and I love being with my boys. We just, the way we are with each other is so funny. And so they're always telling me I'm a cool mom, so I'm like, yes, I'm a cool mom. And so as long as they see me like that, that's all I care about. And basically, I'm raising them to know God. And I know obviously they're not perfect. They're gonna have their imperfections with even growing up. You know, you can only teach them so much, and it's up to them to be able to listen and remind themselves of those things, or us reminding them of those things. And so right now I'm just gonna check on some applications. I know they're not the best jobs, but it's something. And I know we're trying to move to Southern California as soon as we can, because I just want to live somewhere else. I guess it also depends on what's going on in the country, because right now it doesn't sound too good. And down there is a big area where a lot more can happen. So we're gonna finish fixing this house. Who knows when that's gonna happen. So even after that, we'll still see where things are and decide if we're gonna still move over there or not. Either that or to a smaller community, or somewhere else that's more rural, because that's what I like best. It's a rural area. And then I'm taking this Sephora liquid lipstick, and look at the difference in my lip size. Makeup is so interesting, and I'm very artistic, so I do enjoy that. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and keep talking about whatever, if you guys want to listen. Okay, so I am all done getting ready. Look at the difference makeup makes. If you look at the, if you go back to the beginning of the video, oops, sorry, I haven't shaved. If you go back to the beginning of the video, it reminds me of that Nacho Libre when what's his name, Esqueleto, is looking in the mirror and he's like, I look hideous. That's the way I feel. Even now, this is just what I'm gonna wear. I don't know what to wear anymore to interviews, because I see how some people go like in sweatpants, and back when I was younger, we would have to you know, wear a collared shirt, some nice slacks, and just go dressed presentable. But when I went to go check on my applications recently on Monday, I saw no one dressed like how I used to dress. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go in a cute t-shirt and my boots, because I love boots. Since I grew up on the ranch where my dad works, I love boots and jeans and plaids, so I'm like, I'll just wear this. Even though I still have a lot of weight to lose, but that's okay, it'll come. And so now I'm just trying to stay positive, and I've been praying for God to lead me to where I need to be, or where I need to work, or If it's here on social media, that would be great because I can actually work from home, I guess, or just do my day-to-day. So today I was like, I know I say this in every video, but I'm like, I need to post more, I need to post more, but I just don't have the courage or confidence to because I'm very insecure, which I try not to be. And I do talk a lot more now than I did back then. So that's one thing that I'm still working on. And once I get comfortable with the camera, which like right now I feel more comfortable. Earlier I was more like kind of mellow and just very reflective on certain things because I think too much. I think very deeply, and I'm a very, very deep person. So that's something that's the way I am. I think also like to the root level of everything. And so even like with the situation with my manager, like I still love her very dearly, and you know, I understand that she's young. I was at that age too, and you know, you think you know everything and you don't, and life comes at you and you're figuring it out, and you're still trying to, well, I'm still trying to figure it out, but there's just even very in-depth thoughts that come to mind, and decisions I've made which can linger into the past, and I don't want to live in the past. So just a lot of things like that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on any job things I do, or if I get hired anywhere. Any job is, that's the camera holder, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Any job is like I'm grateful for. I know I'm not, a lot of people see me as a loser, or sometimes I see myself as a loser, but deep down, like as long as you have God in your life, like you're winning at life, in something at least. And so that's something I wanted to share. And so I'll try to post more often, especially right now that I'm not working. I'm hoping I can get a part-time job. The one I'm gonna go is where my husband works, and that's full-time. And I didn't really want to do full-time because of my kids, but you know, all those thoughts come to your head all the time. And so yeah, I'm just gonna continue to just pray and have faith, and obviously sometimes still vent, but for the most part I'm grateful for God always providing. And so that's something that I'm always going to be grateful for, and for my kids, regardless of the situation I'm in. I'm trying to look at the positive things. Like right now I'm like, well, I don't have to deal with working with people. And so yeah, that's one thing that I appreciate, is because I'm not a very much a people person anymore, which is kind of not good. But I just want to be, there's so much chaos in my head that I just want to be somewhere quiet. So I know I'm usually very quiet, and then when I get comfortable I talk too much, and then I joke around too much. So maybe you guys will get to see that side when my sister comes, because she's coming soon and I really miss her, and I always miss my sisters. But yeah, so I'll see if we do anything for Mother's Day. And right now I guess I'm talking too much, like I said, so I'll just go and check on my applications, and then I'll go and drop off my resume at my husband's workplace. And I was gonna go to the gym, but I think that's just gonna have to wait till tomorrow because I already worked out this morning anyway. So yeah, okay, I'll stop talking now, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.